Hey Blades fans, welcome back to Hertz Arena for Game 5 of the South Division semifinals between the Florida Everblades and the Jacksonville Icemen. Will Henshaw alongside Jake Maurice. And Jake, the Blades with their backs against the wall right now. 3-1 the series lead for Jacksonville and a chance to extend the series tonight.
Yeah, Florida, they need to win tonight. Otherwise, it's the end of the road for the back-to-back Kelly Cup defending champions. So for Florida, it's got to be everything on the ice left out there tonight. Everyone's got to be at their best, playing their best within the system to help Florida keep the season going and get this series back to Jacksonville.
Florida losing 5-0 last night, the second shutout of this series to the Jacksonville Icemen. Scoreless at the end of first, then 3 goals in the second period for the Icemen, and then 2 more in the third. The game started very evenly matched, but then quickly the floodgates started to open for the Icemen.
Yeah, I liked Florida's start. They didn't get a goal, unfortunately, but they had some good quality opportunities in the first period. You felt things were going their way. But the longer a game like that one goes along, two tight defensive teams that really defend the front of their net really well, that first goal is so important. Jacksonville gets it on a breakaway opportunity for Acapelli. It hurts. But then giving up the next goal just under 3 minutes later, that one really hurt. They get a power play and they get another one. So it was 4 minutes that really just changed the feel of the game, the atmosphere in the arena. Everything just shifted so drastically, which Jacksonville has that ability. Florida has that ability as well, though. So hopefully tonight the Blades can get their offense going, get some quick strikes, and just like Jacksonville did last night to get their win, if Florida can get the lead and then build up some insurance, it's very tough to get a comeback win against the Blades.
Jake, you mentioned that defense, and Matt Vernon, a huge part of that for the Icemen, turning aside all 31 shots that he saw last night for his second blank sheet of the series.
Yeah, he's one of the best goalies in the ECHL. Blades have one on the other side of the ice, too, in Cam Johnson. Unfortunately, Vernon's put up, as you said, a perfect game and twice so far in the playoffs, and you can't beat that. You're not going to be beating that in the postseason. So when you're looking at Vernon, you want to get traffic out front, rebound opportunities, crashing the net. Blades have been focused on that in practice and morning skates, and you've got to be there tonight. You've got to, whatever whacks you're going to take, bumps, bruises, you got to be willing to bear that pain to get some goals tonight in that manner.
Jake, there's a lot of veterans on this Everblades team, but we're kind of dealing currently right now with the situation that a lot of these guys, even some of the vets, have not seen facing an elimination game, something that never occurred in last year's Kelly Cup run. So
yeah, not in 2022 either.
Yeah, it's been some time since the Everblades have had 3 games posted against them. So Jake, just kind of psychologically, how do you kind of deal with this? How do you attack this game and try to move this series forward and force Game 6 and 7 in Jacksonville later next week?
Well, you don't even consider Game 6 and 7. Right now, all that matters is tonight, right? You live through tonight, then you can work on Game 6 and then Game 7 after that. But right now, all that matters is getting a win on home ice. You've got your home crowd. The crowd was very good last night. Rowdy for the Blades. You want to keep that going again. You want to build off that energy that you get. You got to have some better discipline. Stay strong in the neutral zone. You got to make sure that you're taking advantage of your power play opportunities when you get them. The penalties were lopsided last night in Jacksonville's favor, but Florida wasn't helping themselves throughout that game. So you got to make sure that even if you don't like how the officiating is going, you don't give them any opportunities to make you like it even less. So discipline, rebounds, and using the home crowd, they're all going to be important tonight for Florida to keep this series going, but most importantly is one game at a time. I know it's a cliche, but that's all Florida can do right now.
Keeping the Blades out of the penalty box, a premium right now for head coach Brad Ralph and his staff. But Jake, Game 5 here tonight at Hertz Arena, the final home game of this first round of the playoffs. So I think it's about time we get into the Griffith Group of Downing Fry Realty. 3 keys to the game.
Well, we mentioned rebounds. You got to be at the front of the net. Net front presence in Jacksonville zone is going to be huge. Vernon, there are second opportunities that he gives up. Not always, but he does give them up. And being there for those chances, you got to be there so you can get some of those goals. Second off, we talked about the discipline a little bit. Yeah, sure, some of the calls that were called against Florida, maybe not called against Jacksonville, weren't what certainly the fans felt should have been the way that it went. But regardless, you're going to get a pretty quick feel for how the officials are going to call this game, particularly if we have a similar crew to what we had last night. You know what's going to be coming into this game. You know they're not going to want to deal with any of the rough stuff after the whistles where Florida got into some of that penalty trouble. So you just got to make sure that you're set to play within that frame, play within the rule book that the refs bring onto the ice tonight, and you give yourself a good chance to win. And then finally, you got to have a strong start here tonight. You're coming out down 3-1 in the series, do or die time for the Florida Everblades, and that means you got to come out of the gate steaming hot, and hopefully taking an early lead in this game will go a long way towards pushing the series back to Jacksonville.
Win and extend this series for the Florida Everblades tonight at Game 5 here at Hertz Arena. Puck drop set for 7 o'clock. We'll see you there.